Take one.
Take one. Ravi Raj.
Okay.
I can smell your dirty hands. Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast, The Art of Experiences, where we are talking to you today from our base in Dubai, the UAE. We are the guys who have created, enjoyed, designed and choreographed some of the best experiences in the best locations around the world.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome, Ravi.
Today we will be podcasting episode 7 in our new series, The Art of Experiences, where we will be exploring local hospitality brands. We are Nick, Ravi and Arjun. We are designers, architects and techies. Above all, we are on a journey to tell the wider world why some experiences just work and some do not.
Alright guys, it's great to be here on another podcast today. Let's see which of the local brand wins.
There's a challenge. Actually, I don't know if you guys can hear that there's a bzz, 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 bzz in the background, just to emphasize the fact that we're techies. Our 3D printer is over there printing something exciting, which we'll show you perhaps on the podcast next week, if it doesn't end up in the same place that the previous print we made ended up in. Let's say the round file. Right, Ravi, over to you, mate. Sorry.
Thank you, Nick. And I think that's a wonderful addition to our small little family here. And the sound of printing, actually, I've got used to as if there's a background music going on behind my ears.
Yes.
So, any which ways, guys, today we'll be having a brand war between 3 hospitality brands, 3 homegrown hospitality brands, which is Jumeirah, Rotana and Emaar.
Okay.
So
Great.
the common thread among these 3 brands are that they are all Middle Eastern brands. They are originated from the Middle East.
Okay, very good. So those of you that will know the format of the brand war, we have 6 questions which are going to be read out nice and loud by our able assistant and producer Dominique, who sat behind the camera over there. And we have 1 minute to answer the questions, and at the end of it, Dominique will decide who's answered them best, and that person will win a cookie. Yummy, as a prize. Right, so without further ado, I will ask Dominique to read out the first question.
Alright. What is the story of this brand? Oh, actually, let's introduce which brand are you representing.
Okay, that's a good
Because
idea.
We did not do that, right? Yeah. So let's let me take that one step forward. And Nick is going to represent Emaar Hospitality.
Correct.
Arjun is going to represent Jumeirah brands.
Yeah.
And I'm going to represent Rotana.
Is that what it says on there, Ravi?
Yeah, they say Rotana. I've opened the right page.
Alright, so let's start with Jumeirah. What is the story of this brand?
This is absolutely not right. Who flipped it?
Right, we have 1 minute.
Right.
Go.
Okay, fine. So let's start with Jumeirah. So this is obviously the pinnacle of Arabian hospitality.
Is it?
In this part of the world. I know you're competing with it, but it's okay. So this particular brand was established in 1997.
Ah, okay.
By Dubai Holding, which is the parent company. And Dubai Holdings and Jumeirah, as you know, is the private corporate portfolio of the ruler of the country.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So yes, and this is one of the brands, or the only brand in this part of the world, which brings you amazing dining experience and with a fantastic view.
Well, we'll see about that, Arjun.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say with the remaining 15 seconds?
No, I would keep it at that, and I would let you guys proceed.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, then let's move
Looks like
on.
you didn't prepare enough.
No, Raj, I was actually adding that time for both of you to look through the web pages, adding that 5 seconds each.
Okay,
All right. Who's next?
you start, Ravi.
All right. No problem. So Rotana is actually is a very unique brand, because when you actually hear the name Rotana, you find that it's an international brand, And it seems that it must be a hotel chain from US or the UK or the Australia, but the fact is Rotana is a homegrown Middle Eastern brand, actually incorporated in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates by two visionary thinkers, Nasser Al-Nawais and Salim Al-Zir. That's a wonderful names to have as well. The Rotana brand started in 1993, and it's a pretty young brand actually, and it has got its presence here in the Middle East, Africa, and the Balkans region, or the Eastern Europe and the Western Turkey region. And Rotana has grown to become a very household name here in the Middle East. It's also known for its hospitality and a luxurious hospitality, and also it has got on the fag end, it has got a very budget hotels as well. Thank you.
What's the font size right?
You're 3 minutes more. 3 seconds more.
Sorry.
You slipped into reading there.
I think I did a good job.
We'll see.
Now,
Gets the cookie.
now we'll head to Emaar.
Yes, okay. So, Emaar. Emaar, those of you that lived or have visited Dubai will recognise the name Emaar. It's plastered on the side of many of the buildings here in this wonderful city that we live in. Emaar Hospitality is an extension of Emaar Development, which was, I think, probably the company that's most famous for developing some of the most iconic buildings in the UAE, the Burj Khalifa, for instance, and a lot of the higher-end luxury accommodation was built by Emaar. They took their expertise in that area and then moved into the hospitality sector. And the Emaar portfolio now extends to hotels, luxury residences, restaurants, and the common theme that runs through all of those properties is that they're very well built, they're very well choreographed, they're very well designed, and the experiences are that you would expect from Dubai.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Very exciting. Okay. Now, the second question is, what is unique about this brand and what territory do they occupy?
Okay.
Okay, wonderful. So, in terms of Jumeirah, I'm not. Is it the right page yet, Raj? I can give number 10.
No, go on. It's your turn. It's your turn.
We actually should have said, okay, let's go to Rotana.
All right. So, when it comes to Jumeirah, they have 3 pillars based on which their entire brand is built, which makes them very unique. So, one is definitely the service, which actually exceeds your expectation once you walk into any of the Jumeirah property. So, by the way, just to add on from what I said previously, there are 26 properties with 6,500 keys across the globe.
Wow.
So basically, it's present here in the Middle East, it's there in Asia Pacific, and also in Europe. And the second part is the elevated dining experience. No one else can claim the kind of dining experience that Jumeirah has to offer. And the third one is the unparalleled, unmatched quality in service and design, which is something that only Jumeirah can offer in this part of the world.
Nice, perfect timing.
Very good.
Not bad. Look,
Alright,
you're all confident now.
Let's go to Rotana while Ravi's not yet ready.
Ravi, language.
Are we ready?
We'll have to put parental controls on our podcast if you start using that language.
I didn't say anything.
No, I know. I heard it though.
No, I didn't say anything. Okay.
Ravi,
Your time is ticking, mate.
All right, thanks for wasting my 10 seconds
You're
here. Rotana actually, the uniqueness about Rotana is that it's not only a homegrown brand in the Middle East, but also the vision and the brand promise that they carry with them. The vision is to be the leading hospitality. Stop it! Stop the recording.
Why?
These people are making me laugh. Okay, you start the timer.
Okay.
Again, for those of you that have just joined the podcast, Ravi, for some reason, has negotiated an extra minute for his answer to this question.
Not really. I think the last time didn't go well. So the uniqueness about Rotana is that apart from that it's a homegrown Middle Eastern brand, but it's also the vision and the brand promise that it stands for really makes it a different hospitality brand over here. And to compete with the likes of Jumeirah and Emaar, I think Rotana has stood its ground and created a niche for itself, whether it's a luxury hospitality, whether it's a business hospitality, or whether it's a low-end budget hotels. They have got all of them in their kitty. It has to be the leading hospitality management company, recognized for its unique blend of world-class standards with genuine hospitality and for its truly treasured experiences provided for guests, colleagues, and owners alike. Thank you.
Full stop, new paragraph.
You forgot to read next page.
I mean, seriously, guys. I mean, both of them are so jealous that most of them I don't really use any laptop or chits or notes or anything. But this time I thought, like, why not me as well? I mean, why only these two people should have all the fun? So I'm just using a laptop. It's not a great experience because everything comes from my mind, but that's fine.
I think it's a regular occurrence, Ravi.
Regularly it comes from my mind. That's the reason I find it difficult reading from the laptop.
Right, let's go. Right, Emaar. So Emaar, what's unique about this brand? That's the question, yeah? So Emaar really embodies what Dubai and the UAE is all about. The values of the brand, it says here, are fast-paced, which you would associate with Dubai. Customer first, which again, I mean, in a hospitality business, customer first is really the most important thing. But Emaar don't just talk about it, they live it. They talk about winning together. Now this is interesting because the idea of being a partner with your guests and facilitating their success is something that Emaar is all about. And then they have a very strong internal culture where they work together to help themselves improve and better the levels of standard, the levels of hospitality, and the levels of quality in their business. It's the feeling of ownership, the importance of feeling like each and every member of their team actually owns the property that they're working in and has pride about the property that they're working in. It's something that really distinguishes that brand from others, especially Jumeirah.
Nick, why did I kept hearing Porsche?
Well, how to ruin a reputation in 30 minutes.
Same line, different brands.
Yeah.
It's okay, it happens.
I think this is the most funniest run ever.
Okay, the third one. How do you think you are preparing for the future? Let's start with Ravi.
Okay, no problem. And I'm ready this time. I think the future is bright. The future looks really very promising for the brand Rotana, with almost 5 hotels opening in the Q1 of 2022, and also they have slated to open another 25 hotels in the next 3 to 4 years time. Now in terms of the pandemic and the COVID and everything, they had to rejig their strategy about opening of the hotels and future planning. But at the same time, apart from the future planning and the expansion, I would also prefer that Rotana, which is they are already taking care of the sustainability issue, taking care of carbon footprints, and making sure that they leave the minimum impact on this planet. Thank you.
Nice.
Wonderful. 12 seconds left.
Yeah, that's called time management.
Okay. Now we go with Emaar because I don't think Nick is ready.
Yes, can you repeat the question, please,
Yeah,
Dominic?
exactly.
How do you think you are preparing for the future?
Okay, all right, very good. So what Emaar are all about is about sustainability and about positive future and about winning and about success, but about the facilitation of success. Now, the Emaar promise is one where it's a home from home, where you can feel like your success is facilitated by the brand. How are they preparing for the future? Well, I think it goes without saying that if it's been thought of before in terms of sustainability, environmentally aware, careful management of their laundry and all those kinds of things, then Emaar are already there. But what Emaar are starting to do now is to introduce more and more technologies into their properties, and these properties are creating an ecosystem around their venues. As I said before, it's not just hotels, it's restaurants and residences as well. They're creating an ecosystem around their residencies, which is enabling their customers to buy into the Emaar way, and that extends out into other avenues of their life.
It's wonderful.
Thanks, Arjun. Go on.
All right, let's go now to Jumeirah.
Right, so as I said earlier, Jumeirah already has got presence in Middle East, Europe and Asia. Now, however, they are expanding their footprint in China. They are moving to Bali and other parts of Asia and other parts of GCC. So there are new properties coming up in all of these locations. Now, apart from that, one of the key aspects is how they make their experience better is anticipating what your customer would require at any given point of time. So what they basically try and do is increase that level of comfortness when you go there, which they have been improving year after year. And what each and every employee is taught to do is curate that experience of your customer. So every single person becomes part of that chain, which curates that experience the moment you walk into the property till the time you kind of walk out from there. So in terms of future, definitely expanding their footprint and making the experience one notch higher is what Jumeirah is going to do.
In fact, Dominique used to work for Jumeirah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it's really good that you like know the deeper part of it as well.
So when you work there, Dom, do the Jumeirah take time to talk about the history of the brand and about what the purpose and how to behave? And is it Jumeirah that say that you're I mean, wherever reasonable, obviously within the boundaries of decency, not supposed to say no? You always say yes, and you always you say yes, and then you find a way.
Correct.
Interesting. Okay. And do they facilitate that? I mean, it's easy, all very well saying yes, as we know, but how you deliver yes is really important. Otherwise, it becomes a point of friction rather than a point of joy.
I actually forget now, but the logo has a meaning. I don't know if you researched that as well.
Does it?
Yeah, it's 3 pillars.
Is it?
That's what I said. That's what I said initially.
Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Thank you. Very interesting.
Very good.
Okay.
So Dom's an advocate for the Jumeirah brand, obviously, so I'm going to have to work even harder on the next question, which is how is your brand working to deliver a connected experience? Well, I believe I just answered that one, but I'll answer it again. Who's going first, Dom?
You go first.
Okay, all right. So Emaar. Emaar, as I have mentioned earlier in the earlier questions, they have 3 types of category of property. They have the restaurants for leisure, they have residences, where people live, and they have hotels and venues. Now, what Emaar are trying to do is to become part of your life, part of your lifestyle. Now, I live in an Emaar property, and I can say that I can very comfortably stay in my Emaar property. I can exercise, I can eat, I can sleep, and I can enjoy a beautiful view and a beautiful environment, all within one property. And I think that's what Emaar are trying to do, either through their physical presence, as we talk about, or through their brand. They're creating this image around their brand that is all about fast-paced, forward thinking. And then they're connecting all of the dots together with technology, which I think makes the experience, certainly as somebody who lives it, very, very pleasant.
Nice. Perfect timing as well.
Thank you.
Now let's go to Rotana.
Thank you. So Rotana is it? Rotana as a brand has got at least 7 or 8 sub-brands with it. And what they have done is that they have started connecting different brands within their portfolio together. So which means for the simplest of reasons that the points that you collect on one brand can be utilized on the other brand. They have also introduced something which is called as e-Connect, wherein they offer an array of benefits for different hotels. You can book your room, you can check in online, or you can even simply just transfer your points from one property to another. Now, apart from that, apart from this technologically connected experience, I think the best experience that gets connected is about the time you spend in Rotana, and that's what they call it as a treasured time, because we are always pressured to spend our time, and whom we spend our time depends, and it's the most important decision of our life, and that's what they make it more simpler and easy and hospitable.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice, perfect timing, Ravi.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Very good. Yeah.
Now let's go to Jumeirah.
Yes, sure. So, in terms of connected experience for Jumeirah, again, it all binds together of your duration of stay. Now, how effortlessly the different activities that goes within that stay is the connected experience what Jumeirah delivers. Now, one of the key factor is being agile, which means all the employees are taught to be agile, to respond quickly to the customer needs. The second thing is you have a Jumeirah app, which allows you to even have an e-butler or e-concierge or any of the facilities that if you want to have access any of the facilities within the property, it all can be done through an app. At the same time, it also kind of reduces your waiting time once you enter the property, which means you can have a contactless check-in. So there is absolutely no waiting time or time wasted when the customer walks in till the time they leave the property. So all in all, that experience is, like I said previously, curated.
Interesting. I wonder whether this butlers thing is something that is a concept that comes with various different products. You know, as you go towards the high end of things. So, for example, the credit card I have has a butler sort of concierge thing that's supposed to help me in my daily needs. It doesn't. But the idea of the Jumeirah experience having a concierge service that extends beyond your stay is something that's quite interesting. And does it do that, Arjun, or does it just only work when you're actually staying in the property?
It's mostly for pick and drop services what they do. So yes.
Okay, interesting. All right, thank you. Right,
Okay, so
where are we now, Dom?
Fourth question. Oh,
Okay,
question,
so question 5.
how do you strive to make the world a better place?
How do we strive to make the world a better place? Okay, who's going first?
Arjun,
I
you
can
go
go
first.
first.
Yeah,
Fine, sure.
That is greedy.
Now, I'm happy for the fact that whatever I'm going to say right now will be repeated twice more.
We'll see.
So
probably yes.
So I've already lost 20. So in terms of making world a better place, one of the major things which most of the hotels and restaurants face is wastage of food. So one of the key things what Jumeirah is doing is that they have employed artificial intelligence in terms of sourcing materials to make sure, looking at the data that's coming back from the restaurants and the hotels in terms of the consumption, and making sure that they're not preparing food more than what is required, or they're not purchasing any additional material which will go on waste.
Very interesting.
They are looking at reducing the carbon footprint, looking at alternative energy sources. Concierge service is moving into an e-energy portal. They have initiatives to save life on water. Reduction of plastic wastes, and also finding alternative power to run their property.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
Nice.
Interesting. I noticed, this whole kind of new energy thing is really like at the heart of what businesses are doing these days. And those that are able to deliver it successfully are really reaping the rewards. And I think also they have an opportunity to set a good example for the rest of those that aren't perhaps doing it. And I think Jumeirah have an elevated position in terms of their brand here in this region and also across the world to set an example for others.
But in terms of alternative energy, it has not come up thrice. It started with the brand wars of the cars. Then it came in when we were discussing the evolution of petrol forecourts. And now when you come to hospitality, again, it's talking about alternative energy.
Very interesting. Thanks, Arjun.
Okay, let's go to Emaar.
Emaar, okay, all right. I think it goes without saying that Emaar, being the forward-thinking company that they are, and being, I would say, representative of the culture here in Dubai, in other words, fast-paced, succeeding together, winning together, owning the outcomes. They're at the forefront of a lot of the new ideas and technologies and innovations that Arjun was mentioning. And I think probably it'd be safe to say, I don't think I can score points over Arjun there, in as much as I think they're what one is thinking, the other's probably thinking as well. But what I will add to that is that, those are the kind of operational things that one imagines should happen in every properly run business. But if you behave in a positive way and you think in a positive way, then positive things happen. And I think I'd like to kind of layer on top of all of the stuff that Arjun says, the culture in Emaar is a positive, happy culture that gets things done, and this is really how they're making the world a better place. They're being positive, they're owning the future and driving forward together.
It's wonderful.
There you go.
Okay. Now let's move on to Rotana.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm born ready.
Wow. Okay.
All right, Rotana has actually done many initiatives in this space. And how do you strive to be better in the future? I think you don't strive to be better in the future if you don't, if you're not good in the present, you know. And through that, what I mean to say is that, you know, they have started an initiative, something which is called as Rotana Earth, which obviously means that, you know, save the planet, make it more sustainable. All the initiatives that they are taking as a CSR or the corporate social responsibility programs lead to the fact that, you know, they are trying to reduce the carbon footprint. More and more of their properties are getting ISO certified in sustainability management, and also the fact that, you know, the hotels and colleagues are also getting involved in the local community program which support the local communities. You know, that way they are also making the programs more sustainable, hotels programs more sustainable. Hiring from the local community is also one of the ways that they want to strive for the future.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Don't you think it's great, guys? So that here we are talking about how these brands will make the world a better place. And many of the things that we're talking about sustainability, new energy, about treating your people with respect, you know, all that kind of stuff, it's a given. Yeah, I mean, it's not. If you rewind 10 or 15 years and you think back at the way some, not here in Dubai obviously, but in other parts of the world, the way businesses were run, it was shocking. You know, and when it comes to grabbing the kind of mantle of doing it right for the planet, doing it right for your people, and doing it right for business, the big businesses from this region have grabbed that, and they own it.
Correct.
Yeah, they really own it. They're not just words on a page. You know, and the words in an annual report. They really own it, and they're living it, and it's
Absolutely.
really amazing. Yeah.
Okay. So the last question.
Yes.
Okay, so here we are at the end.
So why would I stay in your hotel?
Oh.
Go on, Arjun.
So why would you stay in Jumeirah? You have the best properties that you can think of, the most iconic buildings that you can think of in any part of the world. You have a wonderful set of staff who will curate your experience from the time you set your feet into the property till the time you leave. But while you stay there, it's not only just your experience, but at the same time, there's a team working in the background to make sure that you're not adding on to the pile of heap of waste that goes as landfill and in some place making the earth more dirtier. No, they are working in the background to make sure that no matter what your experience is, there's always something that goes above and beyond to make sure earth is still saved. So that's the reason why you should be staying in Jumeirah next time.
Okay. Thank you, Arjun.
Thank you.
Let's go to Rotana.
Okay. I think it's pretty simple and straightforward that, you know, the Rotana brand promise that they have of treasured time, you know. And as I mentioned before also, you know, I think the most valuable asset today in the world for anybody is time, you know, and whom you decide to spend that time with is the most important decision, or one of the most important decisions of your lives you make, you know. And that's what Rotana actually facilitates, that, you know, it allows you to decide what you want to do with your time, facilitates that time in a very luxurious and a hospitable manner, and also the fact that it does not even disturb you. So which means when you check into a Rotana hotel, from the check-in to the checkout is the most wonderful experience you will have. It's very smooth sailing. At the same time, you will also feel that yes, this is a way I would have loved to spend the time if I go back to Rotana again. So that's why you should have Rotana.
Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you.
Emaar?
Emaar. Okay. So, one of the strongest destination brands in the world is Brand Dubai. People aspire to come here. People dream of coming to Dubai. When you come to Dubai, you want the experience to live up to the brand promise. If you want to really experience what Dubai is all about, quality, excellence, fast-paced, modern, forward-thinking, Emaar properties, the address properties by Emaar, are the properties to go and stay in. They're modern, they're forward-thinking, they're in great locations, and everything's taken care of. You know, your arrival experience, your departure experience, your stay, your access to technology, your access to the joys and wonders of this part of the world. You feel fully culturally immersed in the best of Dubai, and that's what Emaar hospitality is all about.
Nice.
Well said.
Perfect timing.
Wonderful.
Very well said.
Thank you.
And I'm really happy that these you chose Riviraj second because his battery charge was very low.
Oh, there's one other thing that they always remember in Emaar. They always remember you're regular.
That's wonderful.
That's an inside story.
I think we still have time. If I can say like what I see.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
We would like to hear that.
Yeah, and to start from the Emaar, I feel like the way you express Emaar is it comes from the heart. It comes from the experience.
Yeah,
True.
does stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really emphasized.
Thank you. Well, I live in an Emaar property,
Yeah.
so I kind of experience it every day. And every day when I arrive home and my security guard says hello, and I go to my beautiful gym and it's all clean and nice and the pool and things. I'm so, sorry, I'm not rich, by the way, guys. It's just the way people live here, it really is a nice experience. I like it. It really is well managed, and there's no pain.
Yeah, and to Rotana, the way you explained it, Ravi, it's like even if you're reading, it's really convincing. Like I really want to stay in Rotana. The way you explained it, and
Thank you, Dom.
yeah, and you don't look a lot at your laptop.
The writing's very
it's good.
big, yeah.
It's an improvement.
Does Ravi get to wear a gold star? Well done. A good boy badge.
I've graduated.
Yeah, next level. And with the Jumeirah, Arjun always is so ready. Like, always is just writing stuff.
Yeah.
And everything is on point. And you know already what wins for me. Because I'm not trying to be biased because I worked in Jumeirah, but it's like just the service, the way he explained it, like what they offer.
Oh no, not again.
No, I know what's coming.
So yeah.
So the winner is. Well done, Arjun.
Well done, Arjun. Well done, Arjun. Thank you. Notes. Very good.
Now, interestingly enough,
Do you agree?
I think it was a very close run thing between Emaar and Jumeirah. Actually, I thought Ravi was a poor third.
No, I
Well, yeah. I mean,
was actually considering Rotana because I'm so convinced.
What was wrong with my presentation?
now
I'm
you know.
convinced.
I hang my head in shame. Interestingly, guys, on a more serious note, in our first series of podcasts, we did a podcast on Jumeirah. And indeed, the Jumeirah podcast was the most listened to podcast that I think we've ever done.
Yeah.
And it was listened to because I think it's obviously a well-known brand here, but I think people within that organisation also listened. And it was shared around the organisation, and good or bad, people heard our opinion of their brand and their brand experience, and it just goes to show, for me anyways, as a guy that works in the branding business, how engaged the people are in Jumeirah. They live the brand, and people that leave Jumeirah take something with them, like Dom. She worked there, and I've met some of Dom's friends who also worked there. And they take a little bit of Jumeirah with them when they go on to their next job and so on and so forth. It teaches them something. Actually, a bit like that brand that the lady in India used to work for. One of our colleagues worked in the hospitality sector in India, and the same for her. Her behaviour, the way she conducted herself on the phone, and all of these things were life skills that were taught to her in a really great way. And we didn't talk about it today, but people work for organisations and then they leave. Sometimes they stay forever, but a lot of people move on. It's that legacy that brand has with that person, I think, which is so important. And the reason Dom chose you today, Arjun, was partly because you were quite good at presenting Jumeirah, but also she worked there, so she feels an affinity to that brand, a
True.
loyalty to that brand.
I'm trying not to be biased, but
Well, you were, but
but
You just put a dagger through Nick's heart.
I know. Came last. Oh dear. Never mind.
okay, then
There comes a time when the alpha becomes the beta and becomes the zeta. This is that day.
And then to Zeta.
Right.
okay, guys, it's
So
time.
this time. Okay, so here we go. Thanks for listening to The Art of Experiences today. We hope you've enjoyed it. I'm Nick, he's Ravi, and he's Arjun. As you can see, we have a lot of fun recording these podcasts. I hope you can feel the energy. We are enjoying, we're getting a lot of feedback from you guys. It's really nice to see so many of you listening to what we've got to say and hopefully laughing and enjoying with us, bringing some of our sunshine into your lives. I'd also like to say thank you to Dominique. It was great to hear your voice today, Dom. Getting more confident and getting more included in our podcast, which is awesome. One of these days you might see her actually on the other side of the camera. And you can all tell us answers on a postcard or in an email if she looks like the voice. Or whether she has a voice for radio. Is that right? No, a face for radio. Yeah. Anyway, enough. Over to you, Ravi.
Thank you, Nick. And I think it was a wonderful episode again with Brand Wars. Good that Arjun, you're keeping your winning streak. In between, Nick did pop out to win. And and it's time that even I start winning. But anyway, don't worry, that will come eventually. Let the young boys have the run for now.
Practice makes perfect, Ravi.
Yeah.
Keep practicing, mate.
Thank you.
No, he's actually doing better with the reading.
Thank you, Dom. For mentioning it second time. All right, let me just wrap up what I am supposed to say here so that I can just be quiet.
Yes, please.
Guys, if you enjoyed our show, then please leave us a review below. We really like to listen from you and hear from you about your comments. Please be nice and kind to us, and please leave all the positive comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
So for next week, join us on our podcast in the format Just Chatting with none other than Ravi.
Yes.
So bye for now.
That'd be
And
interesting.
see you guys next week.
We're going to give Ravi a good grilling next
Oh,
week,
yeah.
aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
I think
All
it should be
right.
really.
I'm
looking
going to come up
forward
with some really weird questions.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, guys, thanks so much. And don't forget, we're available on
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all sorts of podcast
Amazon,
apps that you have.
Deezer.
Just go and search for Art of Experiences, and you'll find us.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay
Bye-bye.
safe. See you next week. Bye bye.